He went to Nazareth, where he had been brought up, and at the Sabbath day he went into the synagogue, as he was custom. He stood up to read, and the scroll of the prophet Isaiah was handed to him. Unrolling it, he found the place where it is written, "The Spirit of the Lord is on me, because he had anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim freedom for the prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to set the oppressed free, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." Luke 4:16 through 19. At a very young age, we learned how to determine the main idea of a paragraph, the elemental heart of the words we're reading, to find the essential truth conveyed by the author after stripping away the supporting or even superfluous words. It would be easy and correct to say that Jesus' main idea was love, but specifically, what does that look like? When the rubber meets the road, how are we to live? Jesus' first recorded public sermon is a bold and unflinching declaration of who he is and what he will be about. Reading the words of a forebear prophet, he tells the people gathered that his arrival is good news for the low of the world, the poor, the imprisoned, the suffering, and the oppressed. He will go on to echo this in Matthew 25, speaking of his solidarity with the overlooked, least of these, and promising that our faith is measured in how we embrace or reject them. In these words, Jesus tells us that the justice and his presence will always be tethered together. One will be inextricably tied to the other. There will be celebration for those pushed to the periphery, and because of that, there will be disturbance where privilege has been cozy. As Jesus' life and ministry unfolded, those who had commandeered the table would be resistant when he tried to make room for the previously excluded. This is a good way to learn about love. It equalizes the world as it lifts the low. The invitation we have 2,000 years later, as we prepare to remember the coming of the child who would be born into lowly people, is to pause, breathe, consider the elemental heart of our living here. We get to ask ourselves, what is the main idea of this journey? And with the brief moment our feet are on this planet, what will we say?